everybody, this is Marcella Smith, the vegan nurse practitioner. It's my first video, so I'm probably going to end up stumbling around quite a bit. So if you could just bear with me and forgive me for anything I do incorrectly. So anyway, I'm sitting here at my computer, my desk, surrounded by junk that I stuff around while I'm stuff into little holes and nooks and crannies while I'm doing things. I've got everything from my vitamins to fruit to, technical journals, textbooks, my computer, everything. You name it. This is where I spend most of my time when I'm not at work or I'm not doing things. I'm usually sitting here in front of the computer, answering email, talking to clients. As you all know, if you read any of the bio, I've got a health and wellness coaching program that I do, that I put together. I feel it's better than some because I'm an actual medical clinician, so that helps. Although I can't be anybody's regular doctor because it's, you know, the laws aren't written that way yet, but I can be your coach and help you either become a vegan or just lose some weight or whatever you want to accomplish. I can help you do that. One of the things that is kind of embarrassing to me when I talk about the vegan lifestyle, I'm usually high raw. I'm more kind of medium raw right now, and I believe that is because I'm kind of in transition, and whenever I need comfort, some mental comfort, I end up eating cooked foods. So anyway, so now I'm about medium raw, although I do not feel as healthy. And because when you cook, you usually add salt, I am a good 10 pounds heavier. So there we go. I've just now switched to a new job. I'm getting credentialed, getting everything in line for that, and hopefully my mind and body and world will settle a little bit better. One of the things I wanted to get done was get my first video out so I can talk to you all, my friends. And that's kind of how I see you. If you're going to spend any time watching me and watching my life and listening to me explaining things, medical conditions, different nutrients, things like this, to me, you're my friend. I mean, you're coming into my world, seeing what I'm up to. Only friends do that. So I'm kind of address you as that. Anyway, there's a few things I wanted to cover because I need to get this done. We're heading into the fall. I've got my garden stuff up and I want to start tearing it down, but I kind of did some strange things this year. I don't normally garden, but I had some time off, so I'm not going to sit and just do plain gardening. I'm going to create problems that I have to solve, and that is, my friends are always telling me I seem to do. I don't do anything simply. I create a problem and then solve it, because then to me it's a mental exercise, you know. I don't want an ordinary tomato patch. I want tomatoes that are 15 feet tall, and that's what I did. But you know what? It took listening and paying attention to the advice of people who I trusted. Some of the gardening people I like is Growing Your Greens. John Kohler, he is just great. And I'll just tell you, people I get my motivation from is Freely, the banana girl. She is high fruit, high raw. She does do the raw till 4 now, but I really think that is the best way for somebody to transition into the vegan lifestyle, or at least trying to come over to raw, so that they have time to kind of settle in. They have their oldie but goodies, their old cooked foods that they can still enjoy while they experiment with new things. But you really don't know what raw feels like until you've done raw. And by eating breakfast and lunch raw, you have time to feel how good that feels to your body. And I think that's the biggest thing about raw food. I started out 50%, and then within a couple of days, I was done. I was full on raw for a good year and a half. One reason I had a lot of problems that I needed to take care of. One was just a severe gastritis. I had been scoped and my stomach was beet red. My esophagus looked almost precancerous. It just looked so bad for being a vegan. I mean, you know, I've been a vegan for a few years, so it was like, how can this be? And I had to sit down with myself and go, okay, I eat a lot of oil. I do a lot of, you know, I don't do any organic. I was eating a lot of the stuff straight out of the grocery store, which is mostly GMO. And I said, you know, and I was becoming pre-diabetic. And I said, that's it. This would be an embarrassment for me to walk into work and I got a precancerous lesion in my esophagus, and it's like, what? You're a vegan? I thought you were so healthy. It's like, well, I really am. Notice how many times you guys get sick and I laugh at you? But anyway, that's a whole nother story. But anyway, within 2 weeks, I had no more stomach pain. My gastritis, which was severe for a while, had disappeared, had gone. Within 6 months, I lost 70 pounds. And I want to tell you, I used to weigh 330. So you might look at me and go, well, golly, she looks kind of chubby for being a vegan, and she can't tell me, you know, how to eat best to lose weight. Well, I've lost 110 pounds altogether, and I'm kind of hoping that I can figure out how to edit this film enough to show you a picture of when I weighed 330 pounds. I got my heaviest weight as a meat eater. Because you know what? You eat 5 cheeseburgers for lunch, you eat all that fat and meat and carcinogenic dairy products. Oh my gosh, don't get me started. Then you're going to be sick. And I carried a little bit of that over into my vegan world or vegetarian world by eating a lot of dairy. So I was kind of half healthier and half sickier, but because I ate so much dairy, thinking, you know, this protein myth that you have to have all this protein. What's really cool now is science has disproven that. We are not that animal protein or protein driven. That is just one of hundreds of nutrients we need. I'm sure you've heard this before if you're a vegan. I have never met somebody who has a protein deficiency, but I can tell you what, I've met a lot of constipated, sicky meat eaters, and that's because they eat probably 5 grams of fiber a day compared to my 80, you know. Anyway, well, let me get on moving here. I do excuse you for the mess, but you know what? It's me, and I'm not going to be cleaning it up. I haven't cleaned it up so far. I love y'all. You're my friends, but my friends would be okay with it. So anyway, I shall let you go. I am going to go out into the garden here probably in the morning and start tearing it apart, but I want to show you what I did before I start doing that, so that, you know, you can look at it and maybe get ideas or kind of see how I did it. Because you talk to carnists and they're so set on, oh, you got to put cow manure on everything or it won't grow. It's like, yeah, was that natural in forest lands, those big old, you know, 500-foot tall trees? Is that because they had cow manure on their roots? You know, no. So anyway, all this growth that I had this year, including, you know, foot-wide kale leaves, was all on rock dust and compost tea. I paid a lot of attention to those sort of ways, which actually I learned on Growing Your Greens with John Kohler, but I didn't use not one little speckle of cow manure, which is loaded with GMO now, and that's a whole nother subject. But anyway, I'll show you all that tomorrow. So it was very nice meeting you guys. Write all your comments, anything you want me to talk about. If there's a question you want me to answer, just let me know, and I will sure do it, because I do that for my friends. Oh, and if you wouldn't mind, click on that like, would you? So that way I'll get more revenue in, which, I'll let you know right now, the revenue I get, I've got a good job. I mean, I'm a working person. I love to work. That's where I feel the best and most satisfied in life. I'm either creating art, or I'm creating something in some project or whatever, but I've got to be moving. My mind has to be going to really enjoy life. When I retire, which will only be, I'm 50, almost 57 right now. I'm 56, I'll be 57 in just a few more days. When I retire, I want to have a lot of rescued animals. I want to do a lot of things, especially volunteer-wise, for well, the elephant sanctuary, which is where my property where I'm going to retire is right next to it, which is kind of neat. There's a big elephant sanctuary in Middle Tennessee, and that's where I bought some land. Kind of neat. But anyway, I want to have enough money to support whatever animal I have, because I think the worst thing to do is to have animals and not be able to take good care of them. So that's what I have as my project with these YouTube videos, is whatever income I get off of them goes into a savings account down in Tennessee and will help support my animals. It's not going to be a sanctuary, you know. If disaster hits, I'll use the money elsewhere, but that is where my goal is. And that's what you should always have, goals for everything you do. It's really motivating. But anyway, alright, so if you wouldn't mind hitting the the light, and if you wouldn't mind subscribing, I'm going to try to get something out maybe once a week to y'all, because I would be calling my friends every week, let them know how my life's doing. And remember, if you want to see anything, you want me to talk about some disease, you want me to do anything, just put a comment down there. Now, if you're a hater or a troll, I'll probably delete you. So if you start getting too nasty, you know, then, you know, if you're transitioning from a meat-eating diet to a vegan diet, you would not be calling me, you know, bad names, or calling my friends down there bad names. You would just be listening and watching. So I figure any carnus who's on my website or on my YouTube that starts cursing and picking on people and bullying them, they're out. So expect that. I am a strong person, I'm a good person, but I'm also kick ass. So there you go. Anyway, okay, so see y'all later. Bye bye, my friends. Bye.